All right, let's get to painted. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to introduce someone very lovely. On the red corner, she is from Southern California, the killer bee, V! Show some love, show some love. Give her some love. What we do? All right. Your opponent, V's opponent on the blue corner. He is from Queens, New York, the East Coast, Beast Coast. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Steven Zapata! Give it up for Steven! Woo-wee! Oh, yeah. All right, enough of that cringe. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get started. But first, these two contestants will be picking two battle themes to compete. They will have 20 minutes based on a theme word to do their best to paint the best of their abilities. So, we're going to bring up the battle theme right now. Oh, I keep forgetting that. Okay, I need you guys to hate each other right now. Go ahead. It's UFC. Marvel vs. Capcom. He stole your cookies. Okay, all right, that's enough. Okay. All right, can we bring up our battle theme? So over on the blue side, V, I'm gonna need you to say when or stop.
Stop.
Heart! Okay, my heart goes out for you. All right, Steven, whenever you're ready, I'm gonna need you to say when.
Stop.
Heart, hope. I hope the best for your hearts today. All right. Are you feeling good? Adequate? No, there's nothing but excellence and superb. Superb. Okay, Steven, you feeling superb?
I am feeling very superb.
Ladies and gentlemen, warriors, get to your stations. Ladies and give it up for our first semifinals. All right. In the meantime, between time, they're going to be setting up here. And I wanted to go over to my hosts and ask, what are your feelings and thoughts right now in this first battle? Cynics?
Well, personally, I'm really looking forward to it. V has been a strong competitor. She proved that in the quarterfinals earlier today. And Steven, he knocked out one of my personal favorites in the competition, Night Zhang. So he's definitely coming in strong. He's defeated all the things that have come before him, and I'm looking really forward to seeing where he goes now.
Mm-hmm. Mega, who do you have your hopes on right now? I know I'm putting you on the spot, but who do you think?
I made the best woman win.
Ooh, I like that. Girl power, Wonder Woman. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, these artists are super brave right now. They're gonna need all your love and support. You guys watch Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
You guys watch Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
Yes, we watch Dragon Ball.
They need a spirit bomb of energy right now. Put your hands up. Y'all know what to do. Put your hands up and say, take our energy.
Take our energy.
All right. Steven, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
V, are you ready? Audience, are you ready?
Woo!
We're going to count down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get it on! Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, this energy's too low. I'm gonna need you guys to clap right now. Clap. 1990. All right, enough of that.
All right, Cynics, heart and hope are our first two battle words. First thing that comes to mind.
Happiness and love and flowers. No, this is actually a pleasant kind of break from a lot of the doom and gloom we've had in the earlier quarterfinals. So this is one of the most potentially positive sounding themes of the day so far.
Now, of course, we could go the very opposite of it because in my mind, I thought, well, heart and hope is so lovely. Let's do something negative.
A little bit of contrast thrown in there.
Yes, a little bit of contrast. Isn't that what art is about?
It is. It is.
The unknown.
The unexpected.
The unexpected, the surprise of it all.
So, just right off the bat here, we have V going with a very painterly approach. She's just running straight into colors and values, taking it into that just world of painting. Meanwhile, Steven taking it much more into the realm of illustration, focusing on a lot of line work and really trying to establish some nice characters and just some nice
I'm
lines.
seeing a ton of detail right off the bat from Steven's work.
Yeah, I like that he's focusing in on expressions and facial work. Stick with what you're good at, so he's definitely good at that stuff.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's time we learn a little bit about our artists. Let's start with V.
My name is Benita Varek. I'm 24. I'm living in North Hollywood, California right now, and I grew up in Long Beach, so I haven't moved very far. I've been in the industry ever since I was out of high school. I was working in the comics industry up until a year ago. I'm actually working for Marvel's film studios right now, so that's exciting. So I'll be there for at least a year. Working at Marvel now is such a coincidence. I honestly never thought I'd actually work for Marvel. I mean, when I started getting serious about working in the industry, I grew up on anime and manga, so I was like, I want to work in comics, but you know, obviously you can't become a mangaka or like do manga in the US, like it's not mainstream right now, but so I was like, oh, well, I can get to the industry through comics, through Western comics like Marvel, DC, all those big houses. I was doing a lot of fan work online that I was trying to do as if I were a professional. That's how I taught myself, was copying the professionals that I saw. And I was just picked up by like, you know, small indie publishers and like editors who were like, hey, I like your work, like why don't you do some freelance work for us? So out of high school, rather than going to college, I was like, oh, I'll just pretend that I know what I'm doing and kind of work with these like publishers, and it just kept going for a few years. It was fun, but comics is like not stable. It's a lot of freelance, and I was not paid by some really big companies, and it really kind of like killed my spirit for it, and that's when I realized that I need to move industries. A lot of my friends come from art center, and they were willing to kind of like piggyback me, hey, come to my class. So I'd like take their notes and I'd go to their classes and I'd kind of like learn as if I was a student there and just kind of, you know, make those connections with other people in the animation industry. And that's actually how I got my first job, was somebody that I knew going to an art school that was working in the industry. That's how I started working at Shadow Machine, and after that, my other friend was like, hey, come with me and work at Marvel, basically. Your friends are a great asset to you. You should always make good friends. My family, my cousin and my sister, they were both artists. I always like looked up to them, how they were as people, not just artists, and I wanted to mold myself after that. My sister is the type who knows what she wants, and she's very organized, and she's kind of the one who taught me a successful kind of thought process. I didn't go to art school because of money, obviously. I was convinced that because I wasn't good in school, I wasn't gonna make it into college, so I never really applied, and I just skipped it. I just went straight to work. My sister's the one who did go to art school. She went to Otis College of Art and Design. Even going to art school, she was always letting me know that you don't need to go to art school. You can learn all of the things that I'm learning on your own if you try hard enough, and if you really want to do it, you'll teach yourself. Anytime I ever felt dispirited about my own background, she was always there to remind me, like, you don't need this thing that you say that you think you need. In reality, like, I really didn't. I mean, it ended up working out because I don't have to pay loans. I actually wanted to go into social work, but then I realized how much art made an impact on me that I figured that I could do the same through being a creator. I think I just realized how much art left an impact on me, so then I knew I had a talent for it, so that's like why I went into it. I don't feel like artistic ability is a talent personally. Here's the thing, I feel like it depends on how you express it to somebody. They're like, oh, you're so talented. It can come off as being like, you're lucky, which is super not true, you know? A lot of people think, oh, you only got work without going to school because you're talented. I'm like, no, I work all the time. I like made myself sick sometimes just from how hard I had to work to get to the same level as people who, you know, did go to school. I guess I'm a little sensitive about just calling art straight up talent, because it really isn't. It's a lot of hard work. Paint won the art of competition.
Woo!
Give it up!
So V, we have a West Coast native. How would something like that influence her style of art?
Well, definitely growing up on the West Coast, I can tell you, if you've ever gone out to coffee shops or anything on the West Coast, you're probably going to run into a lot of concept artists, a lot of people in the movie and game industry. And that's definitely playing a little part in her style of art. You can see a little bit of that slight game movie influence.
And what is a concept artist exactly?
A concept artist is just any artist that works through the pipeline of making a idea turn into a visual movie or game. So every design you see on screen, someone's got to design every little button, every little nook and facet of it, and just really make it a real thing.
Oh, wow. Very different from our other artist, Stephen, who shall we learn a little bit about?
Let's do that.
My name is Steven Zapata. I'm currently 28. I'm 28, yes. I am definitely 28. I've been a professional illustrator, concept artist, and designer for 6 or 7 years, give or take. My sister, she taught me how to draw. And that occurred in one very specific moment where when I was 4, she came over to me and she said, "Do you want to see how to draw a cat?" And I said, "Yes, I want to see how to draw the cat." And she drew the cat. Head is just a circle, triangle for the nose, whiskers, wiggly tail, like very simple. But I was completely mystified by watching her do it. And then I asked her to do it again and again and again. And I think I asked her to draw the cat over and over again. And because she had to keep redoing it, she would tell a different story. So she would add a person walking the cat, they'd be going into a different store. And when I look back at that particular event, that is very significant. That is what I still like about drawing. When I was going to high school in New York, I thought that I wanted to become a comic book artist. If you wanted to draw figures, if you wanted to draw well, let's say, in a very particular sense, and you wanted to tell stories, the way most people on the East Coast know to do that is to do comic books. And then about halfway through high school, I discovered what entertainment art was. I discovered what design and concept for film and video games were. And once I realized what that was, once I knew that was a thing, I was like, okay, that's what I want to do. I went to Art Center College of Design in Pasadena, California. I went there for entertainment design, and I learned a lot in that program, and probably an equal amount from my instructors and the other students. I knew I wanted to be a professional artist for sure when I saw Revenge of the Sith in theaters back when I was a sophomore in high school. And after George Lucas's name in the credits, concept artist Ryan Church, and that got stuck in my brain. I was like, who is that? And why is he so high in the credits? I went home, Googled it, found out what that was, and I never looked back. I would describe my art style as a mixture of a lot of my influences. It's a lot of old masterwork, a little bit of video games, a little bit of anime, and a big focus on anatomy. My ideal art career, I believe, is a mix of the kinds of personal work that I love doing and also having a collaborative studio environment or team environment where I'm working towards goals with other artists that I could never do on my own. I think I especially will have a big challenge in working in 20 minutes because I tend to spend a really long time on things. That said, I love working under pressure also, so I think however the final piece comes out, I'm confident the experience will be fun, no matter what. Paint 1, the art of competition. Was that even the line?
Give it up.
Oh man. So, Stephen,
Very
an
different.
East Coaster.
An East
coming
Coaster.
from New York.
You're gonna take it out of the words out of my mouth. So very different piece with Steven's corner over here. White background, still sticking to illustration.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have 10 minutes on the clock right now. 10 minutes!
I'll talk about that.
And right now, they're gonna need all your energy for these last 10 minutes. Give it up for them, ladies and gentlemen.
At this time, everybody, home voting is now open. This is when that browser comes in handy. www.paint.one/vote. please go ahead and cast your vote. You can do it any time between now and the end of competition. You can also change your vote at any point between now and the end of competition.
All right. Well, it looks like, despite what I said at the beginning, they both went for a very kind of darker theme. V's colors looking very dark over there. Maybe she's
Very
going to turn
dark.
the hope around, though. I think we're in for some surprises. And same thing goes for Steven. It started with a very grim, dark-looking character. He definitely took the heart in a more literal approach,
Yes.
which I enjoy.
And a lot more illustration over in Steven's side. Perhaps
Yes.
an East Coast influence? Perhaps.
Perhaps. But of course, his strongest side is when he came to Art Center and learned everything on the West Coast. took that information back.
Of course. There is no battle on this hosting table
No,
of
not at
East
all.
versus West Coast. Not at all. So now, for those of us in the audience who've never been to a Paint One battle before, what are some of the things that our audience members really want to pay attention to?
Yeah, it's good to not get too focused on one side or the other because things are happening on both sides. So Steven has definitely mixed up his illustration a lot. And if you haven't been paying attention, you might have missed all that fun storytelling. He was moving things around, changing the character's expression, doing a little bit of that. So just make sure you don't get too narrow tunnel vision going on there.
So we're really looking out for the entire journey of this story, the process of this story, not necessarily focus on our end product,
Correct.
but we want to really pay attention to how each artist is conveying their narrative over as it unfolds over these 20 minutes.
That's right. There's a lot of storytelling and just kind of showmanship going on throughout the course of this. So that's a lot of fun to watch out for.
Yes, absolutely. Now, what are some of the techniques that Steven is using?
Well, it looks like right now he's pretty comfortable with his line work, so he's definitely moving into some values here. Maybe he'll bring in some lighting and everything as we get farther along. But he feels like he's done with his lines, and now it's more so just how is he going to bring it to life with some color and lighting.
And as time is rapidly dwindling down, we're approaching our 7-minute mark. What are some of the things that our artists kind of want to start honing in on? What should be done by this point of the process?
Well, I think your idea should be pretty well established, but that's not to say you don't have some big surprises left. But you should definitely have told a good chunk of your story that you're trying to tell by now. But I feel like usually for most artists, it gets a lot more comfortable as you go along. And sometimes a lot of the fun stuff, a lot of the more comfortable rendering and all that just delightfulness just usually comes near the end.
And what do you perceive V's image is at this point? Without over-speculating. I know you don't like to over-speculate.
I know, I don't like to over-speculate, but I feel like there's that slight similarity because it looks like a very grim scene, but I believe that person is reaching for a heart. So I think there's, like I said, I think we're due for some transformations going on.
Seen what you thought was a heart, I thought were cherries on the ground, but
Could
I see
be.
your heart.
I don't want to speculate too much.
I see
We
your
all know
heart
V
now.
loves cherries.
Cherries and berries.
She's
Ladies
shaking her
and
head. She
gentlemen,
does not like cherries.
Who doesn't love cherries?
I hate cherries.
It's
No,
that
I'm
medicine
kidding.
taste.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys like what you see, make some noise. If you guys want V to win, make some noise. If you guys are voting for Steven, make some noise.
Man.
Almost a little Frankenstein, and a little ode to Frankenstein in Steven's corner.
I believe that's Dracula.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are down to 5 minutes.
Uh-oh.
Hey, support. V and Steven, let's go. Go. Pump up that music for me, please. Bitchy, make that louder. That's right. One more time. Go. V and Steven. V and Steven. Steven and V. V, yeah. Give a round of applause for our contestants, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Woo!
And if you haven't started to cast your vote yet, I would start to think about who you are interested in voting for.
Yes, just remember, you can always change your vote up until the end. So it's a good idea to at least put in your vote now so you don't forget.
Absolutely.
You can always switch it up.
Yes, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, how you guys feeling today?
Woo!
Yeah, this is LA, and we know nothing but hype. this event is going on in China, but they ain't hype like us, so we gonna beat them on the hype level. I'm gonna need you guys to make some noise. That's what I like to hear.
All right, we just got 3 minutes left. This is the time in any art piece where you want to really make sure you're extra clear with what your focal points are. So you can see maybe on Steven's side a little bit of that art knowledge. He brought in a nice little light window behind the heart to draw extra attention to that contrast of the darker heart. So he's using a little bit of his tricks there, just making sure he follows good standard art fundamentals.
The tombstone, or I'm not sure what that is behind the heart, but the technique he used to illuminate that, I love.
Yes. Yeah, so we got that moon glowing in the background.
Really just draws your eye to it.
Yes, anytime we're getting down to the final minutes, that's where you're going to see some nice lighting effects, little bits of glow, some secondary lighting, rim lighting sometimes, just all of the lighting effects that can really make a piece just go from looking average to looking amazing.
Absolutely. And V's piece is almost like an ode to older days.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Warriors, we are down to 2 minutes. Hey, hey, let's go. Hey, through with me. Paint one, what you know? I got that on the floor. I'm the best, hardest around, so you can't come to town. All right, I'll stop. All right, never mind. Yeah.
Time has really flown by in this 20-minute competition.
And it has. Well now, 1 minute, 20 seconds
Yes,
left.
we're down. We're in the 90-second mark now. What's going through your mind?
I'm just waiting to see how they bring it together. What are going to be their finishing touches? Usually that means a lot of graphic elements, a lot of just kind of pops, a bright light, bright color, something. We want to see them really engage the eye.
We are down to 60 seconds. How you guys feeling right now? If you're voting for Steven, make some noise. Give it up for my girl V. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final moment. I'm gonna need you guys to give all your energy and pump it up, okay? Do what I do. Clap. Go. 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 30 seconds. Keep it up. Keep it up. Oh, 20 seconds. Keep it going. Keep it going. 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swords down. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our contestants right now. Give it up, give it up. Woo. Steven, Catman, how do you feel right now?
I feel wired.
Wired. Wired and tired. That's how we feeling. V, how you feeling?
I'm full of adrenaline.
Yeah, we all are. Okay. Warriors, to the stage. Another round of applause to our contestants, ladies and gentlemen. They did an amazing job. Now, we're gonna do a quick video playback, and the artist will explain what their thought process was. So V, you had like a very brutal theme going on. Like, what was your thought process throughout this whole thing?
So the story about my piece was that the main character was a robot, but what it was that humanity had just kind of disappeared from Earth, and the robot had missed, who had created him.
That's hella grim.
Yeah, but his one last hope was that he was holding on to kind of like a heart-shaped doll because he wanted so badly to like have the heart that humanity has, but in the end he kind of just like fell apart because there was no one there to take care of him. So that was kind of like the whole post-apocalyptic storyline of the piece.
That is very depressing. I think, wow, it's like a film right now. I'm about to cry, but okay. Right now, judges, do you have any comments, complaints, concerns, questions for V on her piece? The mic, yes.
So what I loved about your piece was I loved the way that you had created the basics, the foundation for the piece. And I wish I had seen a little bit more of the hope side of it. Right. But what was beautiful was that your technique was really just fantastic. So you saw that coming out. So I appreciate your explaining and telling us your story right now. Thank you.
Do you have anything to say, Judge number 2?
I agree. I think the execution is really remarkable. I do wish I would have seen more of like the story you just told. So, yeah, it lacked a little bit of depth, I think, in the whole narrative.
But we can't doubt that these are beautiful paintings. Ain't that right, guys? Yes, give it up for V, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Now, Steven, you started off with something real creepy in the beginning, and then it transformed. Could you tell us more about your piece?
Well, the idea that I had was that this is sort of an ancient vampire character who has seen better days. He used to have a lot of victims. People used to come through his castle all the time. Now everyone's on their phones. He hardly ever finds anybody. So he's been decaying, running out of power, and this is the last heart he managed to get at the last minute. He's like, this is it. I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna get some life-giving blood. And then he takes a sip from the blood that he squeezed into his magic chalice, and then he's rejuvenated as the vampire that he once was and now again is. So he's got all of his powers back, and he's feeling youthful and vigorous and very evil, very evil.
Wow, it's like hope of desperation. It's like when I'm trying to pay rent in the last month. Okay, all right, okay.
I already did.
So, judges, do you have any comments for Steven's piece?
I think it was super fun to see like the progression of where it started as an old man and how it rejuvenated. The whole process was really fun to watch.
Thank you. Thank you.
You said at the very beginning that you, in the narrative, that you have you see yourself as or you have background in old masters, and that really came through in kind of the whole way in which you created the character.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause for Steven Zapata. Some beautiful work.
And our judges' scorecards are in. Judge 1 scored the fight 22-25. Judge 2, 21-23. Judge 3, 21-24. Audience, 40% to 60%. And our winner is Steven!
Give it up, give it up! Shake hands. Okay. All right, hold on. You
Get on
and
this
another
plane.
player will be flying to Japan to compete in the Grand Prix. Let's hear it for Steven!
Woo!
What are your plans after you win?
Enjoy the beautiful land of Japan.
That's right. Land of the rising sun. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys. Give it up for Steven.
Congratulations.
Woo!